Okay, this is Unit 4 Study Guide, the second part, 11 through 20. Look at number 11. What is true about the value of 3/8 when expressed as a percentage? First of all, to express any fraction as a percent, we simply can multiply it by 100. So looking at my calculator, I could say 3/8, enter that to lock it in, times 100 is 37.5%. So it is greater than 40? No. It is between 35% and 40? Yes. So 11 is B. In science class, students are growing bacteria in petri dishes as an experiment. Each group recorded the growth of their bacteria as shown in the chart above. Which group grew the most bacteria? So if group A, 1/3 of the petri dishes did not grow, that means 2 did not grow, and that means 4 did grow. So I'm going to put did not on this side and did on this side. 1 out of 6 did not grow, so 1 did not grow, 5 did grow. 50% grew, so 3 and 3. 2 out of 6 petri dishes grew, so 2 grew, 4 did not grow. So which group grew the most bacteria? That would be group B. Question 13. Which problem could be solved by computing 52 times 65 hundredths? Well, if you look carefully at this, you can see we see $52, and I know this 65 hundredths as a percent is not going to be 6.5. So that should give you a good hint that it's not going to be A and B, because these two are not the same numbers. And then you think about 65% and 35. If you add those together, they equal 100. So then you need to look, well, would this be the amount off, or is this the actual amount that she paid, or you paid for your glasses? So let's look at it. A pair of $52 glasses are on sale for 35% off. How much would the glasses cost? If I want to know how much it cost, then I'm going to find out what 65% of 52 is. So that's why C has to be the correct answer. Question 14. We're trying to find out which class did Katie have the greatest percent correct on her test. So you just change all these to a percent. 7/10 is a percent, move the decimal twice, becomes 70%. 19 out of 25, again, any fraction, you can turn into a percent by multiplying it by 100. And you can either use a calculator, that one you could probably just do without, but I'll use a calculator to show you that it's 76%. Of course, this one's already written in percent form. And again, 15/20 times 100 gives me 75. So the correct answer has to be C, Earth Science. Number 15. Amy scored 80% on her last math test. There were 250 questions, each worth the same number of points. How many questions did she answer correctly? So you're going to set up a proportion. We don't know how many she answered correctly, but we know there are 250 questions. We know that she made an 80%. and we know that's out of 100%. So you can find cross products. 100x equals 250 times 80. When you multiply 250 times 80, you would get 20,000. And 100 goes into 20,000 200 times, so B is the correct answer. Number 16. In the picture of 60 discs above, what percent of the discs are shaded? So we know there's 60 here. There's 2 rows of 12 plus 3 more, which is 27. So 27 of the 60 were shaded, but they want to know what percent. So what amount out of 100? So you'd find cross products. 27 times 100 equals 60x. That's 2,700. Divide both sides by 60 to isolate the variable, and you come up with 200. Oops, sorry. So then we would divide 2,700 by 60 to get 45. So that's 45%. Number 17. Desiree received a 12% discount on a book she bought. The original price was $18. How much was the discount? So we don't know how much the discount is. We know her book costs $18. We know the discount's 12% out of 100. So it's really important to know what part of the proportion that you're trying to find. So if the keyword original price, that's going to be the total. And of course we know 100 always goes at the bottom here. Then we find cross products. 100x equals 18 times 12. 18 times 12 is 216. When we divide both sides by 100, that's the same thing as moving that decimal twice, which would be $2.16, which is her discount. Ryan is in middle school. 1/5 of the students in his school belong to the science club. 20% belong to the drama club. Which statement about Ryan's school is true? First thing I do is change them both into a percent. 1/5 well, if 5 times 20 is 100, then 1 times 20 is 20, so 1/5 is 20%. So there are the same number of students in science and math club. Lauren's lunch costs $15. The sales tax rate is 8%. If Lauren leaves a tip that is 15% of the cost of the lunch and the tax, what is the amount of money in dollars Lauren will leave for the tip? So first we need to figure out how much her meal cost with the sales tax, which she would change that so that it was in decimal form. We'd say $15 times decimal 0.8, which gives you, her tax was $1.20, so we have to add that back on to our subtotal. 15 plus $1.20 is $16.20. She left 15% as the sales tax rate, so we'd have $16.20 times decimal 1.5, which is $2.43. And that is C. The final question. Anna bought a new skirt. The original price was $46, but it was on sale for 30% off. When Anna brought the skirt to the register, an additional 10% was taken off the sale price. Which of the following is the price of the skirt after both discounts? So we know we first need to figure out what 30% off of 46 is. So we don't know what the new price is, but we know it's 30% of 100. So we use our cross products. And 30 times 46 I think, hold on, let me make sure that's right. 30 times 46, yeah, 1,380, and this is 100x, so we'll divide that by 100, which is the same as moving my decimal twice, which is $13.80. So our sale price, we're going to take this amount off of this. Okay, 46 minus $13.80 gives me $32.20. So that's our, but that's only 30% off. Then when we went up to the register, they gave me another 10% off, which 10% of $32.20. When you find 10%, you're just moving the decimal back. So that would be $3.22 off of this. So then we would find that difference minus $3.22 to find out that we paid $28.98, which is C. Good luck on your test.